Trump, who is actually finally putting an end to the war in Afghan and getting a treaty signed with the Taliban. We are coming to peace with the Taliban. We are making an effort to bring our men home and probably bring a lot of settling to the Middle East, because we do so much bombing of theirs and so much killing on there.
We'll need access to all the troops we got after the elections later this year.
I think you got to give him credit. No other president who's gone through this has been able to barter peace with them. And I'm not saying
he's
Donald
really good at talking to bad dudes,
to
though. You know what I mean?
But yeah, and hey, you know what? In this case, that's a good thing. So I'm giving it up to him. We shit on him for a lot of things, so I find that I'm obligated to give it up to him when he deserves it. Wow, this is cool.
Not everything he's done has been terrible. I'm one to admit that.
And something that I think might have nothing.
I just feel like he and Vince grew up together for the parallels I can draw between the two. Like,
they're super similar, and they're like best, and they are best friends legitimately. You know, But yeah, something that's not going to be terrible at all. Probably amazing all the way down. Maybe a hiccup here and there. We don't know. Is AEW Revolution Pasty, the pay-per-view that Cody Rhodes says is going to be their WrestleMania, quote unquote, maybe.
Maybe. He did say maybe.
We'll see how it turns out this time before we stamp that in stone.
If it doesn't go so well, we'll only do it once every 4 years.
But a little bit of a little nugget was dropped earlier this week that I thought was interesting, that Cody and the Bucks wanted to name their TNT show AEW Revolution, and that's what they were going for. But Tony Khan shot him down.
Well, TNT, Dynamite, it goes hand in hand.
It does, and he wanted Dynamite, and they said, looking back on it now, that they think it was the best call, and that since then, when they've talked about what names people prefer, people say that they prefer the Dynamite over Revolution. So there you go.
Oh, I remember when they first announced the All Elite Wrestling name, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of weird, because it's All Elite and not like the Elite or B Elite or something like that. And now I wouldn't have it any other way. Now if I think about those other possibilities, I'm like, that sounds retarded. Pardon my French, retardé.
I had to work today. I worked overtime. I put in a good 55 hours this week. But the one gal, she's a Filipino guy. I love her to death. I call her Tiki Meow. But she's a sweetheart, and she has an accent. And I'll skip past the whole her calling me a bitch over and over again, which was super fun, and I loved it. I love her so much. But she was like, we were talking about accents and stuff, and she was at the end of this conversation. She says, "What kind of accent do you like?" Because they were talking about how her and a few of her other Filipino friends were talking about how they like Taiwanese accents. They thought they had a really cool accent. What kind of accent do you like? I just looked right at her and I was like, Down syndrome. She said, what? I don't know where it came from. I don't know how. But just as soon as she said, what kind of accent you like? I was like, Down syndrome. I felt so horrible saying it, but I was like, God. I was like, you know what? There's got to be people
your mustache?
out there. I should have. There's got to be people out there. There's people that have a fetish for everything. There's got to be people out there that just that Down syndrome accent just gets their motor running.
Next trending thing on Pornhub. As soon as all the incest shit is blown over.
Oh, I loved that. Sorry, I just had to say that.
What the fuck is wrong with the world with all this incest porn? Fuck.
Just not enough. Not enough to go around. I blame the Christians. I'm just going to say it.
They made it taboo, so it's...
No, they made it fun and trendy. It was Adam and Eve, and then they had kids, and then it was like Cain and Abel, and then Cain and Abel banged their mom and had more kids, and then a couple of those moms and sisters got around to those. I mean, come on. If we're buying in, we're buying in. We're going all in.
And we wonder why we are the way we are in 2020.
We're inbred as shit.
So yeah, Revolution. Should we snap into it?
We're going to snap.
We're going to snap. Let's kick it off by casting our pick for the tag team match to start the show. The Dark Order, represented by Evil Uno and Grayson, who are really the only competing members of the Dark Order so far. Jobbers, they had those jobbers have had a couple matches. I'll give them the credit. And they're going to be taking on SCU, represented by Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. Man, CD's really been taking a back seat in AEW, which is okay, but I miss seeing him all the time wrestling.
I do as well. He's one of my all-time favorites. Severely underrated. Severely underrated.
And that's the thing. I've missed out on so many years of him. I want to see more.
Right. Yeah, he's been wrestling since 98.
Yeah. He's gloried veteran.
But I think right here, due to what we're allegedly told, or at least a tease, that the Exalted One behind the Dark Order is going to be unveiled, you almost have to assume if they don't win here, they're really screwing up. You can't have them lose and try to put over the Exalted One. So,
and SCU is always a good team to put another guy over.
Yeah, and I could see people trying to justify, they lose and that causes the Exalted One to come out and chastise them, and that's how we find out who they are. That's a bad idea. I'm going to say it right. That's a bad idea. Don't do it. Don't do that. So I'm going with Dark Order. Dark Order takes this one, I think.
I as well am going with Dank Odor.
We like the odor.
Then we have a match that really, to me, makes this pay-per-view WrestleMania quality. Pac versus Orange Cassidy. And he might try.
Boy, this is definitely a we've all seen, I don't know if we've all seen, but we all know that you can go online and find some Orange Cassidy matches where he uses his gimmick to put on some really entertaining shows. And I don't mean just what his gimmick is. Like, he can do real wrestling moves, moonsaults, tope suicidas, the whole deal, But if anybody's going to get a good match out of him, Pac. So what do you think? Who are you picking?
Pac is the obvious winner here, but I'm excited to see if this is where we see Orange Cassidy actually turn up and show what he knows in wrestling, because that's something we really haven't seen in all of his matches. It's all the gimmick. It's the fun stuff. There's some big moves, but I'm excited to see him turn up for minutes. You know what I mean? Like, really kick shit into high gear and still get swatted down, because obviously you're not competing against Pac.
No. Yeah, I hope the same thing. I hope that Orange Cassidy is one of the big... I'm not saying he's bad. I get the gimmick. It is, you have to use it sparingly, but it is an over gimmick. But it is definitely... We just went over two matches right now. Dark Order, Orange Cassidy. Definitely go against what Tony Khan and the Bucks and Cody said when they started the promotion, how it's going to be wrestling based. We're not going to have gimmicks. We're not going to have cartoony fun stuff like WWE. It's going to be about talent. It's going to be, well, they realized to put on a show on TV and get casual audience members, you have to do that.
You have to touch all aspects, yes.
So if you're going to go against your word, you have to do it right. And the Dark Order, they're coming back on.
Yes.
Orange Cassidy, he's kind of been treading water. They've done a good job
developing him slowly over time. They haven't had too much on the matches. Yes, it's time to pull the cord. It's time to turn him up a little bit, even if it's just for one match. But like when Chris Statlander came in, they're talking about how she's an alien. They had a backstage segment where she walked up to him and they just kind of stared at each other, and then they both touched each other's fingertips like E.T. So like Orange Cassidy could be an alien, and I like that. Just that potentiality. This week on Dynamite, it was Best Friends versus Butcher and the Blade, and Bunny got in the ring. Orange Cassidy got in the ring. He walked up to her. They stared each other down a little bit. He went to put his hands in his pockets, and she slapped his hands away. And then she took his sunglasses off, put his sunglasses on her. He took her bunny ears off and put them on his head, and then they went on their own way. It was pretty fucking funny.
That's good. That's
They know how to use him, and that's key.
That's a team I want to see them put over more as Butcher and the Blade.
Yes.
Pepper Parks is such an amazing wrestler, and is
that the old one or the young one?
That's the Blade, baby. That's the young guy.
I like the Butcher.
He's just never he's always been okay in bigger promotions and huge in the smaller promotions, and I'd love to see something happen. I love the gimmick. Again, it's another one of those cartoony WWE gimmicks, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they have to do them right, and they have the talent, and you got Allie with them. You know, the bunny. That's Allie, former Impact Knockouts champion. So I hope they do something good with them. With that being said, did I ever say who I'm picking? Or
I think you did.
You said Pac. I said Pac. I think we're moving on, right?
Yes, that's a trend you guys are going to notice on this one. Except for this next match, Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara in a small guys match, and this is going to be a lot of fun.
It should be. I hope it is. Again, we were talking before here, and Sammy Guevara is just. I don't see it in him yet. We've seen that he has potential, but there's been 1,000,001 wrestlers with potential that nobody remembers their name. And as far as AEW goes, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Sammy Guevara is going to be one of them. He's going to be the Van Hammer of AEW, or the.
I mean, Jericho sees Eddie Guerrero in him, and to me, that's got to say something. You know what I mean?
That says he's good at trying to sell stuff. That's all that means. He's a good salesman. I love Darby Allin, and they've grossly mishandled Darby Allin. He has to win this. Otherwise, just let him go back to the smaller indies where he's going to make an impact, and people are going to get to enjoy his matches.
I think Darby's good, and in AEW, he's pretty set. He does need to win matches. I don't know that this is one of them. He's actually won more matches than Sammy Guevara has been featured in, I'm pretty sure. And I think Sammy G, you pull the trigger on him at least a little bit right now. I'm going with Sammy G. I want Darby to win, don't get me wrong, but I think you could go either way on this match, and I don't think anybody's hurting too much.
Yeah.
We needed to have one answer that was different, and so I decided it was this one.
I do think that they've missed out at the first time, and they have to going forward. Somehow they gotta tie in Darby Allin's last name with All In. They're missing out on that. It's right
That's
there.
Where he wins
staring
the
him in his face.
Wouldn't that be great? Him and Mox at All In for the championship, and he somehow pulls it out. That'd be good.
That would be,
and then that would be your gateway into giving like Jungle Jack and other smaller guys a shot,
right?
Or bigger guys, because they're coming very soon. So then we have AEW Women's Championship match. Nyla Rose defending her gold against the alien Chris Statlander, and I'm very excited for this one.
This one's going to be awesome.
Just
real quick, Pacey, I did check up. Nice thing about AEW that I love, they keep track of all the stats and everything.
Yeah.
Darby Allin has not won more matches than Sammy Guevara has been featured in. Darby Allin's won 2 matches out of 5. Sammy Guevara has won 2 matches and lost 2 matches. So
okay, and that's a singles record, not a tag or anything, because I know they have different brackets for that.
That is their record for singles. Darby Allin has won 2 out of 4, and Sammy has. Where are you, Sammy? Where did Sammy go? Oh, Sammy has been lost 2, so he's been featured in 2. So he's still
okay.
Yeah, but still
fairly close. But either way, they're both not utilized to the point they should be.
To be fair, I don't care if Sammy Guevara wins. Darby Allin needs to be winning. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going with. Back to the women's championship match, which is going to be badass.
It's going to be really good. Chris Statlander has been an outstanding competitor since she came, and I haven't got to see enough of her. And
much needed shot in the arm.
And Nyla Rose is just going to be a dominant champion. It's hands down. We're agreeing on this one. Nyla Rose is winning it.
Nyla Rose. She's probably going to be the Awesome Kong that they're not getting I know Awesome Kong basically all but said she's retiring because she just can't handle it physically, and she needs to focus on